Tina, played by Louisa Bradshaw White, was tragically killed by Gray Atkins, Toby Alexander Smith, in December 2020 on EastEnders, but it was only recently her body was found and her family were able to give her the send-off she deserved. In the coming weeks and months on the BBC soap, the likes of her sister Shirley Carter, Linda Henry, and her nephew, Nick Carter, Danny Dyer, will have to come to terms with their grief and how they will live their lives without her. However, they could be absolutely gobsmacked when a newcomer arrives on the square claiming to be a relative of theirs, opening up yet another Pandora's box from the family's past. It's being reported by The Sun that former Emmerdale star Aidan O'Callaghan will join the cast of the weeknight serial drama in a role to replace Tina. The heartthrob will land the job of manager of the Prince Albert Gay Bar, and it is likely he will have lots of ideas to get the punters in. As well as making friends with Ben Mitchell, Max Bowden, it could be the youngster will watch the Carters from afar to begin with. When they start to suspect they are being followed, newcomer Lewis could come out of the shadows and explain he thinks his mother was Tina. Before she arrived on the square, it was well known Tina had a daughter called Zsa Zsa Carter, Emma Kinney, who appeared on the show some years before she did. However, it would not have been known to the family Tina also had a son, as she never seemed to make reference to having another child. It was explained some years ago Shirley had given birth to Mick when she was a teenager and was assisted by Aunt Babe, Annette Badland. The sinister character had planned to take the boy and give him away illegally as part of a money-making scheme. It turned out Mick was given to Shirley's mother to raise, and it wasn't until he arrived in Walford almost 10 years ago that the pub landlord realised who his mother was. This could have been a very similar situation for Tina, as when she fell pregnant with Lewis, she could have panicked about whether she could be a mother at such a young age. Seeing Aunt Babe as a mother figure, she could have agreed for her to take the baby away once it was born for what she believed was a legal adoption process. Tina wouldn't have realized she was part of the farming process and her child was given to someone illegally rather than by the books due to the trauma of being ripped apart from her son. Tina could have completely blocked it out of her memory and therefore, would have never told her family. Lewis might have only discovered recently he was related to the Carters after his birth mother made headline news across the country. His parents could have had quite the reaction to her death, knowing the woman who would have given them the gift of a son. Noticing they were acting particularly suspicious, Lewis could have grilled his parents on how they knew who Tina was. Sitting down with him and finally confessing their sins, they could have told him they accepted him from Aunt Babe as they were not sure social services would have deemed them responsible enough to have a child. Needing to meet his real family and pay his respects to his mother, the newcomer could have descended on Walford thinking it was going to be a short visit. However, after also hearing from locals his mother used to be the manager of the Prince Albert, he could have applied for the role. He would have made sure he was the standout candidate so he could be closer to Tina in some respect. How well do you know your British soaps? How many times has Ian Beale been married in EastEnders? What is the name of Bianca Jackson and Ricky Butcher's son on EastEnders? On EastEnders in 2002, who accidentally ran Jamie Mitchell over in his car which caused his death? How many times has Corey's Steve MacDonald been married? What happened to Emily Bishop in Coronation Street? Who murdered Maxine Peacock in Coronation Street in 2003? Which incident in 1993 killed off 4 characters in Emmerdale? When did the show stop being known as Emmerdale Farm? On what day did Hollyoaks air its first episode? What was the name of the much-loved Coronation Street pet dog who was put down in April 2020 after 14 years? 1996 saw the arrival of one of Hollyoaks' all-time bad boys and rival of Kurt Benson, but who is he? Who is the longest-serving character on Coronation Street? Who shot Phil in EastEnders? How many fires have there been at Corey's Rover's return? Get out of my pub, you're no soaps fan. You're either too young to remember the big lines or have better things to do on weekday evenings. Casual viewer, you watch them sometimes so you kinda know what's been going on. Die-hard fan, you love watching the soaps so much your entire week is planned around when they air. When the Carters discover the newcomers linked to them, they will want answers as to how they didn't know about him and why Tina kept him a secret. Calling on Aunt Babe, they could learn Lewis was subjected to the same treatment Mick was, and this would make them hate her even more. Not wanting Lewis to feel excluded and feeling as if he is the last part of Tina they have, the clan could welcome him with open arms. Only time would tell whether he had a few secrets of his own to hide and what repercussions they would bring if they were exposed. Also, he could be on the lookout for a new love interest, and he could have his eyes firmly set on married man, Ben. It was revealed last year former executive producer of the show, John Sen, was going to be leaving and he would be replaced by Chris Crenshaw. Speaking of his appointment, Chris said, "I'm thrilled to be returning to Walford to work with the hugely talented team on a British institution that, for more than 3 decades, has given us some of the most memorable moments in popular culture. Becoming the custodian of one of Britain's greatest dramas is a huge honour." Head of continuing drama at the BBC, Kate Oates, added, "It is with great excitement that we look forward to Chris Crenshaw arriving back in Albert Square, this time at the helm of the show. His love for the programme runs deep, and I know he's already looking forward to telling fresh and exciting stories and celebrating the very best of our iconic characters." So could the new boss be taking the Carter family in a new direction with the introduction of Lewis? EastEnders airs Monday to Thursday at 7:30 p.m. on BBC One.